vlog for next week, which will hopefully, knock on wood, be on time this week, providing nothing else happens. I was just doing a little bit of practice with Zoom, and I run into some issues with him because he isn't quite 2 and he's very smart and he gets bored, even doing task work. Probably because I don't have him do like 30, 40 plus pickups a day, because I don't need him to pick up stuff all the time. I dropped my phone setup. I got him to give me back one of my C-clamps, which he's picked up and given back to me, but I had dropped my phone too, and he managed to pull my phone holder off my phone. I'm lucky I had the protector on the front, which he's actually scratched, but I've gotten that scratch too because I drop my phone a lot, hence the reason I wanted to teach him to pick it up. But he wasn't really in a mindset where he was like listening to what I was telling him. He did give me the C-clamp back, but I don't know how he's managing to pull the phone holder off the back of the phone. But that being said, it's not on super tight. It's on tight enough if the phone drops straight down, it's fine, but whatever. So he did that. He's been doing a little bit better. And he got a new collar, which I can't really show you guys. I'll probably do an insert of the type of collar he has and explain it. It's a martingale, but it has like a chain in the back. So it's essentially, the cinch is a chain, like a chain collar would be, but then it has the nylon part that's the rest of the martingale. That's been working really well. I told Mom I would just go on that when I'm working him tomorrow, and she's like, don't try it, since the prong collar is the setup he's used to. And so I'm not going to do that because Mom is usually right. The main reason I picked up the phone to film is, one, I got my headset adjusted so it's not loose on the one side, so it's not hanging all the way down here. Because it was hanging down and pushing into my glasses, which was causing weird angle issues, and it was just weird. But I had my dad tighten that today, so it's 10 times better. So by the time I'm doing training this week, it should be 10 times better. And I might do some stuff outside depending on what's going on. So yeah, I'll do that. And the other reason I picked up my phone was because we had a bit of an emergency with Sage. Mom took her to the vet because she had stopped walking. And it's a big deal with long back dogs because they're prone to back issues. Dachshunds, corgis, whatever. Long story short, she has a torn ACL. And I'm thinking, from what Mom told me, because her hip sockets are super shallow, she's probably going to need a femoral, a pelvic, what's it called? It's a pelvic thing where they take the ball joint off and they have a scar joint, scar tissue joint. I think she's probably going to need that on her one side because her shallow sockets are causing all sorts of problems. She doesn't have hip dysplasia, they said, but her hips are just kind of, at least on the one side, are kind of iffy. And she's just going to have to keep having issues as she gets older if they don't do something. And the problem with her having her torn ACL is a dog that tears its ACL has a 50 to 60% chance of tearing the other one later, and she's barely 2. She is about the same age as Zoom. Because all the dogs that we have in the family right now are give or take a few months older or younger than Zoom, because all the dogs came into the family at the same time, within a few months of each other. So they're all around the same age pretty much. Even though I got Zoom when he was a little bit older, their age is about the same. So between 1.5 to 2 years old. So we have all of that going on. She's on anti-inflammatories and pain meds, and she is going to see a surgeon on Monday. I'm thankful this is a local vet, and she doesn't have to take her all the way up to Springfield, because that's probably going to cost her more if she went to a big veterinary hospital. And doing an ACL repair is going to cost her enough. I told her yesterday, I'm like, I apologize if your credit card starts screaming at you. That being said, my last vet bill wasn't that bad. Even with having to do a fecal on Zoom, which I think they were just checking for worms and parasites and stuff like that. We were also, and he also got his booster for his influenza. I have him on 2 vaccines that he needs to be on, or he cannot be boarded or get groomed on a regular basis. Essentially, he's around other dogs on a regular basis, so I pay for a couple extra vaccines for him, which if he was a pet and not a service dog, I wouldn't even bother. So I did that this week. But yeah, Sage, she's just kind of scooting on her butt right now because she has no movement in her back end. If she's motivated enough, she'll get up and limp over, but Mom doesn't really want her walking or jumping. For obvious reasons, a dog with a torn ACL is kind of SOL until they can get the ligament back in place. So, and I was joking with my mom. I'm like an amateur veterinarian because I watch so many veterinary shows. And so I knew when they said torn ACL, I'm like, I know how they fix that. I know exactly how she has to recover. So, but yeah. So that's kind of what's going on with my family right now, both with Zoom as of right now and with our family dogs. So we're doing good, and as of right now, the headset is fixed. So I will catch you guys in a little bit with more training footage. That's hopefully a little bit better than last week. This is probably going to be the last clip for this video. I don't know if I'm even going to use the video footage I just shot because it didn't come out that well, and I'm having issues with my headset again. Like, as soon as my dad fixed it, I didn't use it right away because I didn't have time. And then I ran out of time. Like, every time I was going to shoot something, it was like 4, 6, and whatever, and I didn't have time to shoot anything. Hang on, I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to back up a little bit. And I didn't have time to shoot anything, and so by the time I used it, whatever I had been doing, it came loose again, so I have to have my dad tighten the one strap again. So, because I was kind of trying to jimmy rig it so it was like the right angle, and I can't get it. I definitely can't run it outside right now because it's just gonna get jostled around too much. A little bit is okay, but it's fine. I just did some training with him. He did okay. He did give me back a towel he took, but on the flip side of that, he chewed up a bag, which his focus was kind of not where I want it, so he wasn't, but he was picking things up. He knows what he's supposed to do. His pickups have been going pretty good. He did do some pickups for me, but by the same token, he took a pretty good chunk out of one of my phone holders. I mean, it still works. It's not broken to the point where I need to replace it, but he seems to be doing pretty good in that regard. I can't really work him again right now because he's tired right now, so but yeah, this is kind of the rundown of our training session. I mean, he did okay. It wasn't his best training session, but it also wasn't his worst either. And he did get loose on me yesterday because I had a total brain fart and forgot to put his e-collar on before I took him outside. And I've mostly been working him on just the chain on his new collar, which earlier in this video I will do an insert of what that collar actually looks like, since I couldn't get a good shot of the collar when I had video going. So I will do an insert of that. And so he's been doing really well with that, but I still need to, sometimes I do need to put him on the 2 foot because sometimes he's like so distracted by whatever, he's not even paying attention to anything I'm telling him, whether I'm giving him corrections or not. It's just his distraction tolerance is like really low. Like sometimes if somebody talks to him, he won't even turn his head and he'll keep going. But other times he'll turn his head and try to get to that person. And he yesterday he got away from me and went up to one of the neighbors he knew. And I don't want him doing that. So we'll get we'll do that, and I'll try to get footage of him training once I have the headset where I want it, but I either don't have time or the headset's been screwed up, so we'll see where that goes. I'll try again tomorrow, but my weekend's going to be crazy busy because I'm going over to my parents' house twice. It's my brother's birthday, so they're doing stuff for that. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I'll try to get better footage of our training session later, when I can get the headset fixed again. I don't know if it's just the headset's gotten kind of run out and it's just like got pulled all the way out, but we'll see how that goes. And I'll pull this footage and get this up for you guys.